Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is December 3rd, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see that we've got what is known as a dirty ridge out here. You can see that anticyclonic flow. You can see the clouds kind of streaming back across the region. The ridge is not far north enough here to keep us a bit more clear. And we're going to have some systems rolling through here as we go through this upcoming week. And we'll take a look at the active extended forecast coming up. So we do have a bit of snow coming potentially for some portions of eastern Washington. I'll show you the latest on that here, and also wanted to mention this freezing fog advisory. You can see it does include Walla Walla and Yakima here this morning. If we take a wider look there at the National Weather Service, not too much going on just yet, but things are definitely going to be changing up here. We've got a very active weather pattern headed towards the Pacific Northwest. And let me zoom in a little bit there. Oh, and by the way, I'm in Sarasota, Florida here, and I'll be here for the next few days doing my son's soccer tournament out here. So I got my show on the road here, and I should be good to go. So let me know what you guys think about the presentation here. Got my mouse nice and big so you guys can see it. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start diving into things here. So as we go through the day today, you can see maybe a little bit of light precipitation. Should not amount to much at all as we go through the day today. But that starts to increase as we go through tonight across portions of western British Columbia, comes down across Vancouver Island. And you can see this system may bring a couple inches to the Cascades of Washington. And then as we go on in through the day on Friday, we continue to be a little bit wet here. And we may even drop a little bit of snowfall again out towards the Spokane area on the day Friday. But you can see the precipitation continuing at a high snow levels, at least initially with that system there. And then we scroll on in through the weekend coming up, and you can see the active weather continuing. We might have some blustery conditions also as we go towards the end of the week and on in through the weekend as well. And you see the precipitation continuing, and you see storm systems continue to roll in here. This is as we go through next Monday night, right at the end of last night's European model run here. But yeah, lots of rainfall incoming. Now, if I take a look here at the winds coming up, so you can see not too much going on until we get out towards some portion of the day Friday. You can see the winds get a bit blustery here out of the west, a bit of a westerly surge down the Strait of Juan de Fuca there towards Whidbey Island, and then some strong westerlies for some areas. We'll watch that as we get a little bit closer to it, and then as we scroll a bit further on in towards the weekend and on into early next week, and kind of see those winds coming, which are also going to mean some bigger waves for some of the coastal areas as well. So if we look at positive snow depth change in inches, so we're going to scroll through here now, going through the day on Thursday. You see some of that snow piling up there. It looks like maybe a couple inches for Snoqualmie Pass as you go through the day on Thursday, maybe a couple inches for Stevens Pass as well. And then as we go off and through the day on Friday, see a little bit of that snow coming, maybe some of the outlying areas towards Spokane as well. But not too bad here as we go through the end of the week. And then we go through the weekend here, and you can see it piling up across like the north central Cascades, but not too much for Snoqualmie Pass, at least initially here, but some decent amounts across some of the higher terrain. So, snow levels generally above 3,000 feet for the most part as we go through about what Monday night shown there. Now, taking a look at the Gulf of Alaska view, you got the European Artificial Intelligence Ensemble mean versus the GFS, the Global Forecast System, on the right. If we put this into motion, you can see that ridge and that very warm air that we've been dealing with across Pacific Northwest, but then you also see that Arctic air start to get a bit more entrenched and return towards Alaska, Northwest Canada. You see a spill out across the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to help point some of these systems and some very heavy precipitation at times into the Pacific Northwest as we go through, probably the mid portion of December. You see some of that cooler air making its way down in towards the Pacific Northwest as we go through the mid portion of December as well. That could help to finally bring some decent mountain snows. Maybe the ski areas will be able to get open as we go through the mid portion of December. No promises just yet, but it's kind of a good look there as you can see a lot of that cold air across Northwest Canada on both models. Now, taking a look at the artificial intelligence. So, of course, there's the Pacific Northwest. You got Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. So if I scroll through here, you see these systems kind of riding over this ridge, this dirty ridge that we mentioned out here over the Pacific Ocean. And then again, we start to line up these storm systems as we go through this weekend on through early next week. I mean, look at this just barrage of potential atmospheric river activity as we go on in through next week. Multiple systems over and over again. Warm frontal features, potential wind, and a lot of rainfall incoming here. I mean, my goodness. No rest for the weary here as we go on into the mid portion of December. It looks to get quite active and maybe stay that way. And if we take a look here, I've froze this out about 2 weeks, and you can see the artificial intelligence the control run versus the ensemble mean, again, extremely wet period here coming up. I mean, Seattle and some of these ensemble runs and some of the control runs have been showing up over 7, even some of them 8 inches of precipitation just as we get towards December 18th. That's well above the monthly average in one of our rainiest months of the year. So yeah, lots of rainfall incoming. Now, this is something known as the multiple run trend. This is a European model. And if we look at this total precipitation, these are each individual model run. So you can see after the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs, they all have this big precipitation coming. This is Crystal Mountain ski area for Mount Rainier, and you can just see the huge amount showing up as we go through December 16th. It's over a foot of water equivalent precipitation. And this doesn't tell you how much will fall as snow, but definitely some of it will. But very heavy precipitation incoming, and this is Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Same thing here as well. You can see these runs are really locked in with the huge precipitation amounts coming as we go through December 10th and on in through the mid portion of the month. And here's the artificial intelligence ensemble mean. I mean, look at this ensemble mean as you go towards December 11th. There's very heavy precipitation amounts coming, and very good agreement there within the ensemble runs run to run. So high confidence in that. Now, take a look at what we've been looking at here over the last last week now. This is off through the first portion of January. You can continue to see those warm temperatures there at about 5,000 feet, 850 millibars, and the cold signal there across northwest Canada, perhaps back down into the Pacific Northwest. This is no promise of lower elevation snowfall, but it's definitely a nice thing to see off through the extended forecast. Kind of a La Nina flavor continues to show in these model runs. And there's the 500 millibar heights. You can see the troughing over western Canada. If you look to the left, there's Japan. Then you can see the ridging out over western portions of Alaska. And also, the Experimental Product Climate Prediction Center is definitely taking notice of what is coming our way. You can see the moderate risk and the slight risk for heavy precipitation, December 10th through the 16th. You can see the risk of heavy mountain snow does exist as well, depending on just the track of those systems and how much of that Arctic air can get down into the area via the Gulf of Alaska path. And the risk of high winds as well, moderate risk here across a lot of the Pacific Northwest in that time frame also. And then we got the kind of composite look at things here. That shaded area, it means flooding is possible. So yeah, very active storm track pointed at the Pacific Northwest. So anyway, yep, I will be out here for the next few days. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, and I will catch you guys in the next forecast. Let's see if I can get out of this one here as well. So yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow most likely.